Hey, love, if you're listening to this near the end of the year, I want to start by saying this. You made it. Not in a shiny, tied up with a bow kind of way, but in a real life, humanness, whole being, still here, like still here kind of way. This year asked a lot of us. And if you're anything like me, in how I've navigated, it asks for things you didn't always have extra of: time, energy, certainty, capacity. So before we reflect together, let's just take a deep breath for a moment. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Release the shoulders, release the tension in the jaw, the lower back. No fixing, no need to perform, just arriving to this moment, settling in to your being, your body, your essence. I want to invite you to consider, even if just for today, what is your freedom intention for this new moment now? And what I mean by that is, what is a feeling or energy that you wish to embody in some sort of observable, it doesn't have to be like physically, like you can touch it, but some sort of observable result. What is your freedom intention? What would feel expansive? Like you, like the you that is you when nobody is looking at you, okay? And you just allow it to be. No permission needed. Hold that energy in your heart. Breathe it in. One more breath in through the nose. And release. This year, I learned something the hard way. And I thought I'd learned this lesson already and integrated it all. But stress said otherwise, which is okay, but it just happened. It's fine. Anyway, and the lesson is devotion without structure becomes depletion. Love without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. I watch myself and my friends and clients, y'all, move into reaction mode. I was fulfilling the orders, keeping up with the requests, showing up for everyone, holding space, caregiving, mothering an almost 2-year-old at the time, now 2-year-old, creating, sometimes at the cost of my own nervous system, my body, my peace. Community really does get built in inconvenience sometimes, but still there was beauty. Touches and handwritten notes tucked into care packages and messages from people and hugs from people, sharing things that they were basically saying the same thing in different words. Thank you for being human with me. Thank you for allowing for me to take a deep breath and to pause and to remember myself. Remember the truth of me. Remember what is in my thrive zone, where the love, the need, and what I'm ready for come together and meet. What I'm naming here is not a failure, it's a truth. Shadow work isn't about digging for what's wrong. It's about gently illuminating what's been unseen or unintegrated. And sometimes those unseen and unintegrated things be popping out, okay? Popping out at the most inconvenient times, when your hands are tired, when the prayers feel hollow, when the care need is on max, max, max. So this year showed me where I've been strong and where I've been stretched too thin. Here's something I want to say clearly though. Shadow work for the longest time, like I always found myself numbing against or avoiding negative emotions, especially growing up. And as I got into my spiritual journey, I would notice myself afraid or ashamed of feeling anger or resentment or jealousy or pain in the sense of the deeper depths of the darkness. Um, Depression, over the years, anxiety, and not being the unexpressed sides of me as what they truly are. It's also God in me. It's just not expressed or seen. So shadow work is not dark was a lesson I had to come to and learn, and I'm integrating it. It's an ongoing journey. It's honest. Shadow work is not dark. It's honest. The shadow is simply the part of us that hasn't yet been given safety, language, or permission to exist fully. Sometimes it's grief. Sometimes it's anger. Sometimes it's the truth that goes unsaid. I cannot keep doing this way. And that truth, when applied, goes from knowledge to understanding, because you low key got to dig up in it to understand it, sometimes at least. And then wisdom, when it's actually integrated and lived. So in the Thrive Zone, we hold shadow work as neutral and necessary, not something to fix, but something to listen to. Because often when we stop resisting the shadow, what emerges isn't brokenness, it's brilliance. We use the word shine at a Voodoo child intentionally, okay? It is an acronym and it stands for sharing honest, insightful, and nourishing expressions. Not polished, not perfected, not a mask that goes unconsciously along. When we integrate shadow, we don't disappear. We gather, we expand. So I think of the word Sankofa from Ndinkra, like West African um, ancient symbols, right? With the bird looking backward, gathering the things that you left behind. Remember, light doesn't disappear when things slow down, when things look around and it just looks so dark and empty. It gathers unto itself. The black hole is a womb. It cycles, it rests, so it can return with integrity. You do not need to be everything to everybody right now. You are allowed to honor your capacity. You are allowed to choose sustainability over urgency. And that choice is leadership. That decision is you acting within your own sovereignty, self-governance, and knowing. So as we close this year, I wanted to create a space that reflects these truths, not as a performance, but as practice, and to keep it sustainable, because that is so needed. Co-creating it with the fellow freedom seeking mama out here in these streets doing the good work. You feel me? So on December 30th, we're holding a Thrive Zone Community Connector Circle. It's virtual, okay? It's women-centered, rooted in shadow work and shine for the truth and freedom seeking mama. Whether you consider yourself in truth have birth babies or not, okay? It's for the woman that values truth that is true always. Universal truths, values rhythms in life over depletion, and freedom over popularity. This is not a traditional open mic or open floor in that sense, where there's this pressure and hierarchy of expression and some weird expectation to overperform. Like, use this. This is expression. This is a way to shine. You can Bring a story, a poem, a song, somebody else's art, your knitting. I don't care. If you want to dance, all right. The point is to reflect together. And simply, you can even just bring yourself and listen because your presence is just as powerful. The intention for the space is simple but profound. It hit deep when I heard one of the co-facilitators name it. She said, release, surrender, accept. So we'll hold a gentle container with shared agreements, the 4 agreements of the Thrive Zone space. There'll be optional creative expression and time to reflect on a prompt that we're going to be sharing ahead of time so you can think on it. Who would you be if no one was watching? I want you to come from your essence with that one, okay? And express it in whatever art form you feel called, even if that's fill in the blank. The circle is orienting, regulating, and human by design. Because even if only 3 people come, the work is still worthy. So as we move into a new year, I don't wish you chaos and hustle and perfected holiday plans. I wish you integration, okay? I wish you rest without guilt to truly recharge, to revive you, to reclaim your seat as architect whenever we come back into the new year. So to really and truly embody, allow for yourself to just melt into truth without self-abandonment, punishment. Just remember that light is allowed to gather before it shines again. You are no exception to that. You are allowed. So take this time. And if this episode truly met you where you are, you're not alone. And if you feel called to sit in community as we close this chapter together, I would love to see you there. Until then, unconditional love and gratitude. Honor your humanity. Honor your Thrive Zone. Honor yourself as a freedom-seeking mama, okay? And remember, you are already enough. Peace. Until next time. Oh, and happy holiday, because people be doing that. Yeah, we're going to be reflecting on the universal laws. It's going to be good, though.